Fiancée shattered my heart with those words. I can't make it today. Something urgent came up. That marked the fourth cancellation in a single month. Later that evening, a friend offhandedly mentioned spotting her entering her ex-boyfriend's building. The following day, I arranged for a bouquet to be delivered to her workplace, complete with a note inside. The sheer terror that flashed across her face as she read it spoke volumes, far more than any conversation ever could. At 27, just 3 weeks earlier, I genuinely believed my future was all mapped out. I'd spent 4 years with Sarah, engaged for the last 8 months. Our wedding was set for June. I handle financial analysis from home as a remote worker, so I'm around most of the time. I truly felt that availability strengthened our bond. I could always be there, ready to listen, to help, to show up. Sarah was employed at a small creative marketing agency in the city center. She possessed that rare combination of ambition and focus, the type who mapped out her 5-year goals in meticulously organized, color-coded planners. That drive was one of the things I admired most. Of course, she was attractive, but it was her fierce determination that drew me in during a backyard gathering at a friend's place 4 years ago. That evening, she confidently declared her dream of launching her own firm someday, and I had no doubt she'd make it happen. The cracks appeared slowly at first. By mid-February, the excuses began piling up. The first was canceling dinner at my parents' house. Work emergency, honey. I'm really sorry. My mother had spent hours preparing Sarah's preferred lasagna. Next came our traditional Friday movie outing. The team has to prepare this presentation late tonight. I'd already secured the tickets and grabbed her go-to snacks. I watched the film by myself, staring at the vacant spot beside me in the dim theater. Soon it turned into a habit. February 18th. Can't attend your brother's birthday dinner. Urgent client issue. My brother had specifically hoped she'd be there so he could share news of his own engagement. February 24th. Got something pressing tonight. Let's reschedule. We'd reserved a table at that trendy spot with a months-long wait list. March 3rd. Can we postpone our evening? Work is overwhelming. That was meant to be our anniversary celebration. 4 years together. I'd surprised her with a custom-engraved necklace bearing our initials. March 10th. I can't come today. Something critical needs my attention. That cancellation hurt deepest. It was our pre-booked engagement portrait session. We'd arranged the photographer months prior and put down a $200 deposit. 2 hours before we were due at Riverside Park, Sarah phoned. I'm truly sorry, but I can't make it now. Something urgent popped up. Sarah, this was locked in ages ago. The photographer is waiting. I realize. I'll cover the cancellation charge. It's just, this matter is really pressing. More important than anything else right now. A long pause. Then, that's not fair to say. What's happening? You've pulled away for weeks. We hardly communicate anymore. It's only job stress. You understand how intense it gets. Her voice carried that familiar sharpness, signaling the discussion was finished. I backed off, rearranged the shoot, and convinced myself it was merely a temporary rough patch at her office. Yet somewhere inside, I sensed the truth. That night around 9 p.m., while gaming, my friend Mike messaged me. Mike, hey dude, odd question, everything all right with Sarah? I just noticed her heading into the Westbrook Heights complex. I froze, rereading the text. I recognized that address instantly. Her ex, Ethan, resided there. She'd mentioned it casually once while we passed by last summer. Me. She's staying late at the office. What? Mike? Oh, my bad then. Thought it might have been her. Probably mistaken. Me? You positive it was her? Mike, pretty certain. She was arm in arm with a tall guy entering the South Tower. Didn't catch his face clearly, but I didn't want to stir trouble. Just figured you'd want to hear. I stared at the screen for a solid 10 minutes. Part of me wanted to dial her immediately and demand answers. Another part urged caution and logic. Logic lost. Sleep evaded me completely. I replayed every missed plan, every vague excuse. Around 3 a.m., I did something I'm ashamed of. I logged into our joint credit card account. My pulse raced as the transactions appeared. February 18th. Bella's Trattoria, $87.43. February 24th. Vintage Lounge, $62.19. March 3rd. Bella's Trattoria again, $91.67. Bella's was our special restaurant, or so I believed. We'd celebrated our first anniversary there, but I hadn't returned with her in ages. Vintage Lounge sat just blocks from the Westbrook Heights. Nausea hit hard. The next morning, Sarah messaged around 10 a.m., acting completely normal. Sarah, morning red heart, sorry once more about yesterday. I'll make it up this weekend. I stared, torn between exploding and staying composed. I needed certainty first. Proof. Me. Sure, looking forward to it. I spent the whole day strategizing. If betrayal was real, I had to confirm it before dismantling everything we'd built. So I took a step I never imagined. I ordered flowers. Not random ones. White roses, her absolute favorite. Delivered straight to her office with an anonymous typed note tucked among the petals. The message read simply, I'm aware of Ethan. We should talk. A friend. No signature needed. An innocent person would ring me puzzled. A guilty one. 30 minutes later, my phone lit up. Sarah, voice trembling with alarm. Did you send flowers to my work? No greeting, no softness. What? No. Someone did. With a strange note. Never mind. Probably harmless. What did it say? Just nonsense. Likely a silly joke. Her breathing was uneven, unsteady. Sarah, what's really happening? Nothing. Gotta run. Click. I sat frozen, phone in hand. For the first time in 4 years, the woman I planned to marry felt like a stranger. Update 1: Sarah didn't return home that evening. Around 7 p.m. she texted that she was crashing at her friend Mia's apartment to clear her head. I didn't argue. I actually felt relieved. I phoned Mike and pressed for every detail he recalled. He sounded guilty, but described her wearing the black dress I'd gifted her last Christmas. She'd been giggling, clinging to a guy's arm as they entered the building. Tall, dark-haired, fit, matched Ethan exactly. Sorry, bro, Mike said. I debated even mentioning it. No, thank you for telling me. That night, I searched everything. Her laptop remained behind. She'd left hastily. I know it was wrong to snoop, but boundaries had already crumbled. Her email client was still logged in. I located a conversation thread from 3 weeks prior. Subject, nice hearing from you again. Sender, Ethan. It began innocently, him congratulating her on the engagement. She replied courteously. Gradually, the messages grew warmer, nostalgic, recalling vacations, private jokes, shared memories. February 16th. Would be great to meet for coffee if you're available. Her. I'd enjoy that. February 18th. The night she skipped my parents' dinner. Ethan wrote. Last evening was wonderful. Forgot how effortless our talks are. I've missed it. Her. I've missed it more than I realized. Nausea rose again. The exchanges escalated. Drinks, then meals, then visits to his place, just to check out the new apartment. March 10th. The photo shoot day. Ethan. Looking forward to seeing you tonight. 7 still good. Her reply. A single heart emoji. I shut the laptop and sat in silence, surrounded by darkness. We had chosen venues, sampled cakes, debated DJ versus band. She discarded it all to revisit her past. No tears came, only hollowness. Update 2: Sarah returned the next afternoon, stepping inside cautiously, as though expecting an ambush. Eyes scanning, gripping her bag tightly. We need to discuss this, she said. Yes, we do. She perched on the couch's edge, tense. That note with the flowers, it scared me. What note? I kept my tone steady. The one inside. Someone knows something. Someone believes. She halted, chewing her lip. Believes what, Sarah? Nothing. It's obviously a cruel joke. She avoided my gaze. I retrieved my phone, pulled up the card statement, and angled the screen toward her. Bella's Trattoria. February 18th. You claimed you were stuck late at work. Color drained from her face. I can clarify. Vintage Lounge. March 3rd. You postponed our anniversary. It's not how it appears. I've read the emails, Sarah. My voice broke. Every message. You've been meeting Ethan for a month. The room felt utterly still. She didn't refute it. She simply sat, tears flowing freely, and gave a small nod. How could you do this? I asked. I don't know, she murmured. It just unfolded. He contacted me. We talked. It reminded me of before. I became uncertain. Uncertain. I rose. Uncertain whether to marry me or return to him. She recoiled. We never slept together. Does that somehow lessen this? I shouted now. You've been emotionally unfaithful for weeks. You ditched our engagement photos to be with him. You lied repeatedly, straight to my face. I'm so sorry. Leave. What? Pack your belongings and go. I don't want you here anymore. She broke into sobs. Please, we can repair this. No, we can't. Trust is gone forever. The worst part? You lacked the courage to end things honestly first. You kept me dangling while deciding if he was the better choice. She offered no defense, only heavier crying. Within an hour, she gathered her things and walked out. I watched the door shut. Then the full weight crashed down. Rage, betrayal, grief. Update 3: The week following her departure passed in a haze. I canceled the wedding, phoned vendors, informed the venue, explained to my parents why their would-be daughter-in-law was no longer joining the family. My mother wept. My father simply appeared let down. Sarah called repeatedly. I ignored them all. Texts arrived, lengthy, apologetic, pleading for another chance. I blocked her. Roughly 10 days later, Ethan messaged me via social media. I nearly deleted it unread, but opened it anyway. Hey, sorry about everything. Sarah mentioned the engagement only after things started between us. She implied you two were already finished. I feel like I stepped into a mess that wasn't mine. For what it's worth, I urged her to reconcile with you. I don't want to be with anyone who cheats. Wishing you well. I reread it several times. Part of me almost accepted his version. But it changed nothing. Sarah had chosen her path. Final update: 2 months have passed. I left our shared apartment. Too many ghosts. Now I rent a modest place on the other side of town. It's calm. Healing. Word from friends is that Sarah and Ethan attempted a relationship. It lasted barely 3 weeks. Once the thrill of secrecy faded, they discovered little remained to connect them. She's been reaching out indirectly, hoping to rekindle things. I've stayed silent. There's nothing more to express. Last week my brother asked whether I regretted sending those flowers, whether forcing the truth had been a mistake. I answered no. Pretending everything was fine would have been far worse. Walking down the aisle with someone who couldn't value honesty would have destroyed me more. Certain days still sting.